Every place you turn, there's some communist rule of thumb trying to poke its nose through some sort of a law or something of some business or whatever, and they're trying to say that it's freedom and people should be free to do whatever they want, no matter what it is. I mean, here they are. These governors and stuff let these people break laws and stuff, and they think, well, they should be able to break laws because they're, all this different stuff that they keep pushing forward, and yet they turn around and try to disallow other people's freedom from living what they believe they should be able to live. It's all about cutting everybody out of what everybody else wants to do, and it's almost like they got this bubble surrounding themselves of like one of those D&D things where it's a globe of invulnerability or whatever, or globe of vulnerability or whatever it is, where nothing can penetrate. They're just allowed to do whatever they want and no laws affect them. But yet they're trying to affect all laws and rights and everything else that everybody else does, in saying that they should be allowed to, because they should be allowed to talk or do stuff with rights, yet they're disallowing it at the same time. They're just trying to turn everything toward what they believe in. It washes the brain. This brainwashing is what it is, of people that don't think for themselves or haven't really thought about freedom. They're just living in the country, just like comatose, going through this and that, and then all of a sudden they're getting brainwashed by these people. By their thoughts are overloaded with all this. Oh, freedom is really where we should be able to do anything we want, no matter if it's breaking the law or whatever. And then they're just disallowing other people freedom, like the ability to talk in a open air, or the ability to go to a school and give a lecture or a speech or something, because they claim it's disavows anything that's free, which it's not disavowing anything that's free. It's just it's turning against communism, and they don't want that. They don't want freedom that turns against what they say. I think it's time. I don't know. There's so many people that just allow themselves to be brainwashed by whoever in this country. They're what do they call it when it's just you just allow, like when they pass a law that's, whether it's unconstitutional or should be illegal, or nobody even thought about it. They just keep allowing stuff to be brought forward and passed right under their nose, and they just, because it doesn't affect, because a lot of these people, then, they go to work and go home and they don't do anything. And there's other people that, like, all the laws that they put forward, they're just communizing this country, because these lawmakers, we found out now, they're a bunch of communists. And all they do, they're trying to put more laws into effect, and they're just thinking, well, to keep our job, we're going to have to write more laws, because that's all they do. That's what they are. They're lawmakers. And instead of perfecting something, they don't. They just write a new law. And it's taken away everybody's freedom. I'll tell you what, I'm really tired. It's for like 40 years they've been writing against everything I've done in this country, recreational, whatever it is. That's all they've done, is just write laws against it. And I've been put out every place I go. It's like I'll be starting to do something, and then they just start writing laws against it, close it down, and I can't do it anymore. And this, that, and the other. And I'm freaking tired of it. And now they're working their way into everything else. You see, they started on the perimeters, the far out perimeters, and they started there, and that's where they start. They put their laws into effect out there. I don't know who's psychologically doing this, because it's psychological. It is. They're subliminally, they know there's enough people that don't care about stuff. There's studies done here and studies done here, but they don't tell anybody about them. They don't tell anybody about these studies, and then there's certain people learn. They're psychologically tearing apart this country. And now they've worked their way in to writing laws to help, because the people, the lawmakers think, well, yeah, that's what we need, is somebody to defend us and writing more laws, because that's all we do. And every year we write more laws and more laws, and pretty soon you're not gonna be able to do anything. You know, 50 years from now, they're gonna have so many laws in effect. You're gonna be on a bus to work and home, and that's it. You're gonna get a certain amount of food sent to you, and that's all you're gonna get. You know, it's like, I mean, beyond it's robotic communism is what you're headed toward, where you can't. It's robots that have a better life than you. This is all these people that are asleep, just allowing stuff and they don't think anything about. They're just breeders that think, well, yeah, I had kids, and my life's great because I had kids and have grandchildren, and I get to see them when they come over to my house. And anyway, they're just brain dead. All these people are brain dead, and they just allow stuff to happen in the country, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this communist crap that's being delivered on a daily dose, and just they put people out of jobs for stuff that they do or something they did 40 years ago. It might have been, it was like all these sex allegations that were back then. It was like what were they? Where two people agree to have sex, and then they turn around and think, well, I don't really, now that I'm married, I wish I didn't have to talk about having sex with this person, or I wish, and then they bring it, and these people that had their lives private, but then they talked to somebody and then they outed them, and now they're saying, I wish I didn't have, and so then they push that forward and say, well, these person raped them, and it wasn't rape, it was just they decided after they've been outed that, I really rather wouldn't have that, whatever, but it's all it is they're psychologically taking over the country, and people don't see it. There are people that do, but then they're not fully, they're just almost like, they're just where it's what everybody else is saying. They're almost a zombie in their statements because they're not thinking about what they're saying. Where these communists are trying to, they're not thinking about what they're saying either, but there's so many of them saying it, and all of them together saying it, against individuals that don't have any backers, don't have groups. They're a group of people going after individuals, where individual loses, they lose all any backing because they have a group up against them. Everybody thinks, well, if the majority is against an individual, then it's like a court system, and there's your kangaroo court. So anyway, I don't see why everybody says, oh, communism should be allowed. Everybody should have a voice that helps us keep. No, it doesn't. It's communism. It doesn't deserve a voice in this country. I think we should knock them right out of the country. I strip their rights. All these people trying to say that they're going to take Trump to court. All these unconstitutional people that are saying that they're trying to take Giuliani's. They're going to try to take Rudy Giuliani's. Whatever they take as lawyer ability to practice law. Can't remember what it's called. They want to take his, and they want to take Trump to court and put him in jail. And yet they've all been doing this unconstitutional stuff. They've written, they're basically unconstitutional. They should lose their freaking ability to be lawyers, because that's what they are. And everybody doesn't fight them because, well, they don't know more than you. They just got more people going against you. If you're, you got to be like the 300. You got to stand against the masses. And it's like these people, oh, we can't win. What a defeatist attitude. Anyway.